SNRL live stream. We are currently in Australia for the Grand Prix. We have a full qualifying format running. Currently we have Jordi, Jurgen, Dog Obs has just taken 3, Kyle, Riker, Drew, Jason, Alex, Tom, TDM, Wicked, Jer, Matey, Flavius, Aiden, who's yet to set a lap, Falk, who's also yet to set a lap, but I think he's on one now, Shadow Realm, or Rado Rochelle, probably a Super GT fan, Spooky, who's just had a bit of a spin off in the Ferrari into the pit lane, Ryan, who's also in the Ferrari, and Finley, who's not yet to set a lap. This is currently Q1, this is 10 minutes in, and we aren't expecting to see many fast laps right now. The track is still very much green, temperatures are still quite high. We will see if we can get the track temperature up for you in a second. As we follow, we'll follow Dog Obs on some sort of on his lap. We're going to tyre stuff. Have a look at this. Sorry for the rush, we're just getting it all set up in a second. We will be with you in a second as he comes into the pits. We have, let's see who's out on track. We have Jason Italia, who's going to encounter a bit of traffic, going to slow back down. We also have a lot of people in the pits right now. We just saw the Ferrari come out. We'll follow Jason for a bit, see how he's doing. It's very close to the wall there. Comes down into, I believe this is turn 11. Down the straight, nearly flattening these modern day cars. Straight into turns are a very dangerous place. If you manage to catch a wheel on the grass, that is your race over. The walls around here are so tight, and it's a very, very fast-paced circuit that it makes mistakes like touching the grass or running too wide. They are very, very harshly punished around here. Thank God, as well, because it makes for a lot more interesting racing. Yeah, sorry, I am fumbling my words today. We are just going to send that link in. This is the unofficial SNRL account, by the way. We have had some difficulties setting it up. I am not the usual commentator, so this is very much out of my comfort zone, if you will. But I'm going to give it my best shot. I'm going to try and make it entertaining for all you lovely people. As we can see, Jez McLaren coming into the pits. A lot of people in the pits right now, understandably so. Aiden out on a lap. Takes that very nicely indeed. Activates the DRS. Down the back straight, if you want to call it that. Let's see what kind of time he gets. And we have a yellow flag in sector 2. I believe one of the Ferraris has come off. Have a look. Oh no, he was just letting people pass. Everything is all good. Wicked comes round on an outlap. Runs wide onto the curbs there. Not to worry, it is his outlap. And we will guide you on an outlap, on a hot lap around Australia with Wicked. See how he does. So coming up to turn 1-2 chicane here, you've got to take a lot of apex there. You can really use the curb there to keep it going. Use the apex there. Wicked has decided to go for the safer option and keep it nice and tidy. Into the turn 3-4, some very big crashes happening here, most notably Alonso in 2016, turn 4. These kids are deadly. Round here, flat out in these modern day cars, using the curb will give you a lot of time, but it's also a very high risk run. Into the next chicane now, coming round, now flat out all the way down to the next chicane. A lot of chicanes and switchbacks here, it makes some very interesting racing. Big sausage curb there, you do not want to touch that. And now onto the back quote-unquote straight, coming down to the left-hander here, very, nearly flat out in stage. You can take some very high speeds around there. You'll often see top drivers doing it in just a lift. Someone is in the wall, and I believe that is Kyle. Kyle is in the wall at the chicane. We did say that it's a very high risk reward, high risk, high reward. Time to push around there. That is going to bring out the yellow flags, but not to worry, we're all good. As we go back on board with Wicket, he takes it nice and safe. Can he improve on his 127? We shall see. Looks like it. It's going to be a few seconds, and he goes across the line for 125. So not bad, not good. As we see the Hasses, both on hot laps. Never mind. He's slowing down. I think he might be out of fuel, so he validates the lap. Let's have a look. So we've got currently Jer with a 119.8. We have Geordie with a 120 who's in the pit. We've got Jurgen on an out lap. I don't know how they want these names to be pronounced, I was fed no information, so I do apologise if I am butchering it. We've got Dog Arbs in the pit with a 120, Riker with a 121, Falk with a 121.4. Now I'd like to remind everyone there is 3 minutes of Q3 remaining, Q1 sorry. We do see the fastest time set towards the end in the last sort of 30 seconds ago, and we will expect to see a lot of people leaving the pit lane very, very soon. As Jurgen tries to put some heat into those tyres. The stream has been announced live, so thank you for everyone from drivers SNRL for joining us as we follow Jurgen round the track. Coming into this very tricky last couple of corners here. You've got to be very careful. Running right there onto the grass can just about ruin your race. I've done it before while racing in FRL, which is I believe that Aiden is also a moderator in, and a very good one at that, might I add. Let's see if he can improve on this 120.4. I will look at the chat in just a few seconds. I am currently sorting out some service stuff that's happening. As RTG gets a penalty for a collision. I wonder what happened here. We've got people on the grass at turn 3. I did mention this is a very hot place to go off. We've got Tom Marsh involved, Flavius involved. Oh, this is a disaster here. Aiden's comes through, manages to avoid all the disaster, but we've got a Haas coming through, so he's going to have to be very careful. Does he get blocked? No, he does not. Lighting up his right tyres. That is not good. Ooh, the spooky loses from wing. This is not good. These are not going to make it out of queue as Kyle leaves. I think he just doesn't want to sit there. Shadow Realm, Flavius, all clearly involved. As we see the Red Bull trying to let Falk through, but Falk's not on a lap. He's happy with that time. He ain't got time to set up one. Oh no, never mind, he's letting it through. Kyle's back in, that's all good. Sorry, bear with me, I am just sorting out some server stuff and then I will see what you guys have got to say in the chat. I did see a few people joining. Real TDM is the best. Haha, we've got a clearly a Racing Point supporter. Hello, Rachel. Thanks for joining us. Oh. Let's have a look. Ooh, and there's a big shunt here. I wonder what happened there. Oh, RTG is out. He will not be able to improve on his time. It's very disappointing for that Red Bull driver. He usually has a good bit of pace in him, and I'm sure he will be just as frustrated as any Red Bull fans are. This is going to be one hectic day for the stewards with blocks, quali blocks. Ryan Webb retiring there, clearly happy with his lap, doesn't want to get in the way of any others. Spooky is out of time to improve his lap unless he can put in a phenomenal performance, which I don't think he will, given he was involved in a big shunt. Gosh, Rado Shelm, who I believe is his first time racing here. I'm not too sure, but if he is, he's got one lap to prove that he can get into the top 15, and all eyes are on him. No pressure, of course. He takes that corner fairly well. Oh no, his lap is invalidated. Never mind. We'll see if we can find someone on a lap. Nope, I believe this Renault's got an invalidated lap. Lots of invalidated laps here. Falk here. His best time is a 1:21.2. Going to try and improve it. This is going to be a fun one for the stewards, clearly, because a lot of accusations of blocking and stuff as he backs out of his lap. I believe he's out of fuel. But yeah, this has been quali done for everyone as Spooky pulls into the pits. Shadow is finished, same with Flavius. RGT didn't get a chance to set a lap, as we saw he had a big collision down at the final couple turns. And Wicked has just about managed to scrape through. Kyle, although having to retire and I believe crashing out, has just managed to stay, or has just managed to not managed to keep himself in there. And that concludes Q1 for SNRL, Saturday Night Racing League's round at Australia. Let's have a look at the results here. So we got Jordan managed to improve his time to a 1:19.7. He was in third. Jay being pushed off, but this, remember, this is Q1, so this is not the official results. So the ones that are being eliminated are Kyle, unfortunately lost connection or managed to retire accidentally. Can't remember what happened to him. Sorry. Wicked just wasn't fast enough. Matey, who was caught in a crash just before he managed to set a time. Flavius, who I believe was also uninvolved in that crash. Sorry, need to turn my notifications off. It's very unprofessional of me. Flavius and a few others I didn't manage to see. Sorry about this unprofessionalism. I'm doing my best, but as we move on to Q2. Q2 is where we see a lot of the back markers picking up the pace. Usually, I say back markers, it's where we see a lot of the people outside the top picking up the pace, as this is where they've really got to prove themselves if they want to get onto the final push in Q3. We can hear engines firing up, ready for this session. People are going to be trying to get out, setting banker laps. Hi Spokai, I believe it's pronounced Spokai, sorry. Yeah, someone crashed into you, I think we saw that. Thank you for the, thanks for the support. It's always great to see the drivers tuning in. I believe you'll be watching because you have been eliminated, but it happens, man. You just gotta keep fighting, you'll get the pace. I probably would have been eliminated as well, so it's nothing to be ashamed of. As we see the Mercedes of Finley pulling out of the garage. Everyone, a few people on their out lap here. What's happened here? Oh no, the camera's just been a bit funky. There's a bit of traffic coming down turn 3-4. People gonna make space for each other. I believe Alex might even go for a slipstream here unless he can get ground. Which will be interesting to see if he's blocked or not. Remember, unless he's on an outlap, nobody is on a flying lap yet, so it's really going to be interesting to see if people end up getting blocked or not. As you can see, it's been quite a big issue so far. As we see Tom, I believe, who's in front. Let's just have a quick look to make sure we're following the right guy. Yep, Tom is in front. And he's coming around the final corner. Doesn't quite manage to keep it flat. As we come down the start-finish straight here at Melbourne. Into the first corner. Nice and tidy. Doesn't want to push these track limits. Strict track limits are on, which means the drivers need to be aware that they will have their lap invalidated. Just misses the apex, but it's okay because there's a... Don't really lose too much time doing that. Misses the apex there. Big sausage curb out on the right. Will he stay flat through here? No, he does not. He lifts. Coming round down to another chicane. Brakes. He takes a bit of nice speed in there. Opens up around the right-hander. Stays this obviously flat even in the wet. Coming down into another chicane, and the Australia is very fond of these switchback chicanes right here, as you can clearly tell by my use of the word chicane. Coming round into the left-hander, this is also a little chicane, but this one is very risky, as we saw from Kyle, who just crashed out last time going through there. Unfortunately for him, but it will hopefully shine. His talents will hopefully have chance to shine in the race. Tom Marsh there, setting a rather untidy lap. I'm sure he will be out again to see that. What time does he get? Remember last time we were seeing the 1:19, now 1:22. It's about 3 seconds off Q1 pace, which isn't too bad, but it is what it is. Finley's out on his lap. Jer is still in the pits, however, as Dogarbs, I believe, has lagged out. So we'll see if we're able to get him sorted. Finley comes around the corner. What time will he be able to set? Or is he just going onto a lap? Yep, he's just going onto a lap. Why has my telemetry been disabled? Apologies about this. I am not the best with... Oh, what's happened here? Parked in a dangerous location, apparently. Dogarbs. There is nothing we can do to help him there, but unfortunately he will not be able to continue in the rest of Q2, which is a massive disappointment because we've seen a lot of pace, and there's a big crash there coming into the right-hander. We'll try and see if we can find who that is. I didn't quite catch a glimpse as they were ghosted. Oh yeah, it's Drew, the Renault. He's going to try and his best to get out of the way of his passing teammate, I believe. Oh no, sorry, they're both disqualified there. Yeah, you can just see the damage to that front wing. He clearly had a slip up, or it must have gone wide on the sausage curbs or something. But as you can see, he's doing his best to get out of the way. I'm sure the stewards will want to have a word with him about that. As we come watching Jurgen in the Red Bull. Going to be interesting to see. Thanks Aidan for joining us while you sat in the garage. Good luck out there on track. It seems pretty hectic right now. And Finley sets a fastest lap of 1:21.0. This is only 9 minutes in, by the way, so there is time, plenty of time left in the session. As we see, come around here now. A lot of people on their in laps now. So we'll keep an eye on. Apologies for the mic. We'll keep an eye on Riker, who's on a slow lap. People tend not to press, but I believe Real TDM, who has called himself the best, decides to go for his run now. 8 minutes, just under 9 minutes in the session. Comes up here, braking very late into the chicane. I'm terrible with corner numbers. I will try my best in the race, I promise. I'm gonna have... Let us know your race predictions down in the chat. Who do you think will come out on top of this one? It's going to be a very close one between the people at the front, and you might even see a surprise winner, depending on what the weather's looking like. You'll see I'm crossing the line. Not quite able to match the pace of the top three at the front. 123. I'm sure he'll want another go at that. A lot of people in the pits now. Ryan's on his out lap, just coming through the final couple corners. Ooh, excuse me. Ooh, and Jurgen sets a 120.9. Sorry, I am missing all these. This is very hard to keep track of who's in what, as everyone just pulls into the pits rather than saying to Jeff that they are boxing, but it's very hard to keep track. Ryan on a flyer now, using most of the track there. Very clean and tidy line through there. Braking, of course, at the safety car board. Manages to just a little tiny lock up on his right there. Keeps the great speed through there, however. See what he sets. On the soft tyre, of course, so he believes that he needs the pace to get in. 26.2 in the first sector. That is a purple, I believe. This will be a very quick lap. Oh, Geordie going with a 119.6. Very impressive in the Alpha Tauri. Sorry, we'll watch it on board with Ryan as he comes up. Geordie lets him pass. Ooh, takes a very risky line through there. That could have very, very close being an invalidation. Locks up again. Using all of the track here, he is not giving the stewards an inch to play with. Just misses that apex, but it's okay because he gets the switchback. Manages to stay flat through that corner, keeps it valid, and we are going to cross the line with a 119.7, just less than a tenth under Geordie's time. More than a tenth, sorry. Have a look, see if we can get the gap going on here. See, gap to the leader. Yep, 1.36 seconds. So that means Jurgen needs to make up a second, which we've seen from his pace in Q1. He should not need to do. Tom Marsh 2 seconds off, and then we have Aiden, who's on his out lap. Let's go jump on with him. We will jump on with him after Finley crosses the line, but I believe he's on an in lap and he lets the McLaren through of Jet, who's going to be a very good contender for this. Oh, Jet's pitting anyway, never mind. We'll get on board with Aiden now as he comes round turn, I can't even tell what turn he's on now. As he comes round the final sector, getting himself set up nicely, taking his time. We'll see what he can do. Very nice line through the first couple corners into turn 3 now. Manages to avoid the big crash. Takes turn 4 beautifully. Turn 5 now, flat out. Round turn 6, of course, flat out even in the rain. Turn 7 and 8. 9. I'm just counting these for myself. He's doing very nice. He's keeping it very, very clean and tidy. Very inside the track limit. It's definitely playing it safe as he runs over the curb. Down now the back, I guess, corner. Not really straight, is it? Turns Ooh, doesn't push as wide as Ryan, but still manages to carry some great speed in there, just using a downshift to really hold the engine back. Again, nothing impressive so far. He's going to be a fast time, but it's not going to be at the front, unfortunately. Brakes at the 50 board, takes it very clean through there, gets the power down and boxes, aborts the lap. He did not feel that that was good enough, so he's going to slap some new tyres on and go for another run. Everyone but Jason D'Italia I believe, or whatever, who is on a slow lap currently, I believe he's trying to save a bit of fuel so he has some time to push, is on, oh sorry, I've just realised I have the track, the spectator options open. Yeah, he's on a very slow lap. He's not out of fuel, but he's the only one out on track apart from the Alfa, yeah, word, I can't speak today, Alfa Romeo of Tom Marsh, who we saw managed to get through even though he was involved in the turn 3. This is where he collided last time. Unfortunately we didn't get to see what happened there, but we'll keep an eye on the track because there's the Racing Point train here. Maybe we're going to see some teammates slipstreaming to try and squeeze those extra attempts out of the straight line. Of course that will be a hindrance in the corners, but maybe they believe that they will be able to make it back. We'll keep an eye on them. As the McLaren crosses the line. Of course the Renault engine. See if Aiden comes back out. I think he's waiting for the 2-minute mark. He feels pretty confident in himself. Wonder if any of the leaders are setting themselves up for a good strategy. Julian seems to be on the mediums and seems to be comfortably through, even though being a second back. So, oh, Jason's off. That's disappointing. We just saw him follow his teammate the whole way around. He's off at turn 2. That is a shock. That is shocking. He's not going to have time to set another lap. He looks pretty safe though. However, Aiden, Alex and Jer are yet to set a lap. We will see how this goes, however. There's a yellow flag in the last sector. Has someone gone off, or are they just run out of fuel? Doesn't look like it. Someone might have just been letting someone past, but oh well. As Jer comes around the corner now in the McLaren. He's looking good. 1:19.6. That catapults him to first place in Q2. With 1:11 to go. Is anyone going to respond? Perhaps Aiden, who's struggling. Finley feels very confident in his lap and retires. Aiden runs onto the gravel, but it's only his out lap, so there's no need to worry. All you Aiden fans out there. He's just going to have to dust off them tyres and he'll be good. Got over the Racing Point, giving Alex his way through. Let's see what he can do on this lap. Very much predicted a good result for this race. He's had a little bit of inconsistency in other leagues. His internet is not the best, but we still love him. He's organised this whole event, so hopefully his results will show his hard work. Very nice and tidy through there. Uses a bit of the curb, stays flat through here, even daring to upshift. Which is what we've not seen a lot of the midfield pack do, lacking the confidence. Cutting the corners with the checkered flag has been shown. This will be his last attempt. Let's hope we don't have a commentator's curse as he pushes them track limits to the absolute limit, ladies and gentlemen. Coming round, puts a wheel on the grass, won't lose him too much time. Coming round, will he lift? Yes, he does. As he goes purple in sector 1. Comes down. Sector 2, I apologise. Let's hope this... Oh, and he's been held up. He's been held up. What will this mean? Will he get through? Real TDM obviously holding him back there. This is not good for Aiden. I believe, however, that is just done enough to get him comfortably through. There's a yellow flag in Sector 3. I believe it was just someone letting someone through. Will any of these drivers be able to improve? Let's have a look. Alex backed out of his. Only manages to up him at a place though. Riker comes across the line now. Aborts his lap. Let's have a look. So, Tom Marsh out on track now. Last driver, boxes. Aiden obviously will not be happy with that. Except, will not be happy with the fact that he was blocked. I believe he could have done a bit better than that had Real TDM not held him up. The stewards will probably look into that as Real TDM goes on his lap now. It's very hard to keep track of who's on a lap, given that none of the drivers, and I've said this before, mention anything. As Aiden, I believe, the Williams kicks up a bit of debris. Comes round the last switchback corner here. Is he going to pull into the box? Nope, he's going to take the checkered, but he runs out of time. And that means 13th for Real TDM. And we shall have your results shortly. So, Jer in the McLaren takes Q2 by storm with a 1:19.6. Very impressive lap, but only very, very closely followed by Geordie, who was less than a tenth off. 0.035 to be exact. Then Ryan, Aiden, Jurgen, Finley with a slower lap than the rest, but I believe he's on the medium, so he's setting up a better strategy. Eliminated are Drew, Jason, TDM, Dogarbs, who unfortunately had to was disqualified because he lagged out, unfortunately. He is back with us though, so there is no need to worry, and we shall watch his comeback with great interest. We'll have a look while the drivers are in the garage prepping for their Q3 runs. 12 minutes in the session. That is plenty of time to set a couple good fast laps. We hear engines firing up. Aiden apparently lagged out during that time. He's back though, so no need to worry. Pit lane is very quiet right now, but Finley is going to be first out. As we see, oh, never mind, someone else. We have Alex is out. So this is going to be a big train. Oh, Dogarbs has left again. Hopefully he will be back in time for the race, but this does not look good. His internet unfortunately letting him down. This should be okay though. A lot of people coming out to set a banker lap. We're going to turn the Delta back on again. We'll set a gap to the fastest lap. We don't need that tyre detail just yet, but oh well. We'll keep the telemetry, however, because it will be interesting to see how the top guys, you know, Riker, Ryan, and Geordie, Finley, people like that do, and you might actually learn a few things here. I know I will. I am terrible. I wonder now, will the Renault of Riker be in the dirty air and will be catching that Ryan's vortexes? He believes he will as he backs out. Very well. As the McLaren, I believe, that is, has just crossed the line. Taking very... oh no, he's just on his outlap. Who's going to be first to set his outlap? Alex is going to be first out. Tell, just misclicking the gears. No need to worry though, it helps slow him down, so if anything, he's gained something from that. Come around T, turn 3 to 4 now. Very tricky corner for the drivers. Obviously puts a lot of strain on their necks in real life. You imagine you're sat pulling 3 Gs around that turn. Very slow corner, but it's very hard turning. You know, you're pulling aircraft speeds every time you're pulling the same Gs as a fighter jet every time you turn the wheel. That's some seriously impressive stuff. As we see Jurgen beginning his lap nice and slowly. Geordie out on a lap. We shall see who will be first as the Mercedes of Finley goes purple, sector 2. Very impressive. Will anyone be able to beat that? I wonder. Remember, this is just a provisional poll. The race will not start. The final laps will not start until predicted around 2 minutes in, which is when traffic will get very interesting. We appreciate all of our drivers, by the way, for sticking it out for the 20 or so minutes. The bottom 5 who are eliminated in Q3. We do appreciate it. Finley says a 1:19.5, so a tenth or two faster than what we saw in Q2. Will anyone be able to top that, I wonder? Oh, mistake from Aiden there, maybe. Is he just letting people through? Yes, he is. All good. Everything is good on his part. Let's see. As Tom Marsh is a 1:22.1, so a good fair bit back off the back pace. This is where it gets interesting now. Got some nail-biting action. The pack is very bunched up. Jurgen pitting, not happy with his lap. Same with Geordie and Ryan. They are going to take a gamble and hope that they don't get held up. They don't have a crash and they can just smoothly go in, set the... apologies. Go in, set the bankers and jump straight back in for their final run. Geordie beginning his outlap there. Riker coming through the turn 11-12. Managing to keep his car within the limits. Very impressive stuff. Doesn't quite use all the curb, however. That will cost him a bit of time. As he turns in, uses the curb there to make up for it. Keeps it nice and tidy, as we expect from a driver of his calibre. Coming straight across the line for a 1:21.2. Now we hope to see that improve, as Riker is a very, very strong front to midfielder. Every time I've raced with him, however, anyway. Got Alex now, who's done a 1:22.3, just behind Tom Marsh, but I believe he will be able to improve on that. Aiden now, who is on a flyer. Sorry, we've only just caught this. We will see how he does. Keeps it nice and tidy. Invalidates his lap. Unlucky for him. Falk now coming into turn 1. Down the line he goes with a 1:21.2. Down the line, I meant to say across the line. You guys know what I mean, I'm butchering enough, you'll be able to paraphrase. Aiden taking a very interesting line into the pit lane there. Jurgen's on his outlap, he will begin his soon. Geordie, however, I believe has just set a fastest sector 1. He's now in sector 2. Coming round there. Round there, of course, you just saw it. In the Alpha Tauri. Now this is Geordie's first race as a full-time driver. So it will be very interesting to see how he shakes up the pack at the front. You know? Will he be able to leave his mark forever, or will he just be a one-hit wonder and is only able to make it on certain tracks? We will see. He's doing very well so far, however. We have seen him set a purple sector 1, and he comes down the final corner. What will he be able to set? Will we see a 1 No, we see a 1:19.6. That's enough to put him in second though, provisionally. Will he be able to make it back into the pit lane in time, or we will keep you updated? Aiden just about ready to get going again. I think he's out to maybe set 2 laps. That would be interesting. Jurgen now on his lap, coming round into sector 2 through the speed trap. Do we get any information on what a speed trap is? No, we do not. We look at all the way up to 200 mile an hour before braking. Very, very hard around this tricky little nimble sector here. It's a really weird balance you've got to have in your setup for Australia as he boxes. Australia is a weird one. It's got lots of very hard braking zones, lots of very demanding corners, will be physically demanding for the drivers in real life. As Jordi invalidates his lap, but that's an out lap, I believe, so it's an in lap, sorry. A lot of the drivers sat in the pits now, as we believe that is the McLaren, I think I just saw, going in, or was it the Red Bull? We'll have a look for you in a second. Ryan on an invalidated lap, not set one yet, but it's okay because it's just his out lap. A few people coming out with the 3 minutes to go. I think they're just trying to get out of traffic while there's not much difference in the track. Of course, it will give them an extra few thousandths if they leave it till last, but I'm gonna have a look around the field now, see what is up as Tom Marsh comes in for his flyer, followed by his teammate who will cross the line next. Let's see what he can do. Oh, apologies, pressed the wrong button. Messes that up a bit. That was a very dodgy line. It works. It's a very safe bet, but it's not what we saw in the top guys. Maybe this is the difference between the top and the bottom lot, is how hard you are willing to push yourself, push the car, push the limits. Obviously, every time they step into this car, they're dedicating their time, they're dedicating their effort and all the practice that goes into this. So we are grateful for each and every one of you, whether you are P20 or pole position, for showing up and giving it your all. You really do make this game better, as we see a massive mistake there from Tom Marsh, who will not have time to improve. That means he's got Aiden, Jurgen and Ryan all on their outlaps now, ready to push him down the order. Ryan now, going to switch over to one of the faster people, Ryan, who's predicted a good result. Of course, showcasing his skills with a Fanatec podium edition, I believe he has. Very, very naff, excuse me, very nippy line through there. Very fancy stuff, as he puts himself P3 provisionally. We get to see what Aiden can do as he gets some heat into those tyres, and what Jurgen does as he's about to start his lap. Now let's ride on board with him for a bit. Sorry, let's ride on board with Jurgen for a bit as he comes into turn 1, all the way pushing them track limits. He's not taking any liberties here. Oh, big lock up there, but it's okay. He can make the time back, do you reckon? Let us know in chat. Coming around turn 5, a very, very, very dangerous corner. Using loads of track here, Jesus. These guys really do know where they can push the FIA stewards to their absolute peak. Keeps it all valid. I keep talking about the validity of stuff, but we've seen so many people invalidate their laps on the final couple seconds and not have time to improve. As we see someone disconnected, and I didn't quite catch who it was, but hopefully they will be back in time to join us for the race, so we'll have a full car grid. If you are eliminated in Q1 and you've been sat here for 24 minutes, we do appreciate it. We hope you enjoyed watching and spectating. What will Geordie be able to put in then? Goes second. He's not able to knock Finley, who is currently on a lap off poles. Geordie, however, let's see what he can do. Geordie manages to put himself on provisional pole. Jer coming round to turn 11 now. Riker nearly about to cross the line. Coming around the final sector. Oh, manages to slide himself around there. That's impressive stuff. Aiden, of course, not yet to set a lap, so this will depend all on what he can do. Will he have time? Yes, he should. And there's a yellow flag in sector 3, as I believe Alex has just come off. Still going to pull into the pits. Finley is happy with that lap. He is retired. As Jer crosses the line, and he puts himself second. So Geordie not being taken off yet. Alex retiring, yep, as we thought that. Jer is second. I don't think Aiden managed to set a time then, which is a shame because we were really looking forward to seeing what he can do. He just ran out of time. We hope to see a great comeback from the Scotsman and server owner in chief. Fellow Scotsman Geordie managing to put it on pole, so well done Geordie. Great stuff from him. With a 1:19.2, fastest lap of the race. Remember, the pole lap around here in real life is a 1:24, set by Michael Schumacher, the fastest lap we have seen around this circuit. Obviously the 2020 cars probably would have been able to beat that, given the fact that they have so much more downforce and so much more handling capabilities, maybe, which would be able to keep them properly stable compared to what Michael Schumacher had to deal with. But obviously that Grand Prix got cancelled in a messy mess that the FIA would rather keep them to themselves. But anyway, here we're going to load into the grid. The drivers are going to be forming up. The grid walks are going to be happening. Make sure you tune into Sky Sports F1 to see the grid walks. Obviously, I wish we could have the capability to broadcast on Sky Sports F1, but oh well. Gotta wait for the drivers to ready up. I believe they will all be chatting in the Discord. I will let you know if anything important is announced. I try to keep on top of these, but you know. Finley saying that he was nearly 3 tenths up. Now that is very disappointing and gut-wrenching for him, as he could have easily taken pole then if he was 3 tenths up. The gap was very small as the drivers set off for their formation lap. Hang on a lap. I will turn my notifications off so we don't get any annoying black boxes appearing in the corner. Make sure they're all switched off. Geordie leads the pack around the Melbourne Street Circuit in that AlphaTauri. Will hopefully bring home some good points for it, for the team. Followed by Jer, Finley, oh, and Jason was disqualified, and Real TDM as well. They must have had a bit of contact or something. Won't affect them in the race, but they'll just be starting on cold tyres. As you can see the graphic there, predicted stop strategy will be a 1 stop primarily, or if they're going to go for 2 stops, it will be soft stop, medium. Unlikely to see many 2 stops unless there is a safety car, which there is a high probability of. While we are doing this, however, we are going to set the spectator menu up. Who goes to where, as the drivers putting in the final heat of their tyres as they come around turn 13. See, must have been the Red Bull must have had an incident of Matey, because he has dropped to the back. Obviously crashed out in qualifying. Disappointing, clearly crashed out here again, unless he was just building a gap to Spooky. As they all come round, as they begin to turn the final corner, ready to line up for the start. I'm going to whack it in TV camera so you get the best view. See Geordie forming up on the line. Let's see who else is... There we go. Have they formed up yet? Yes, they have. Why can't we get a TV camera? This is... We'll just ride with Jer then because he's giving us the camera. 1 light, 2 light, 3 light, 4 light, 5 light. Lights off and away we go. That's obviously a mistake from Geordie there, who's had a bad start. One of the Haas's pull onto the grass. Let's see if they all make it through turn 1 cleanly. Oh no, we've had a few incidents here. People dropping positions like crazy, and there's a yellow flag in sector 1 as people come around the second turn, taking wings and stuff, bits of bodywork and carbon fibre flying everywhere. Lucky that that Red Bull is ghosted there. As let's have a look. Geordie manages to hold position despite that bad start. Never mind, he's just been set down to 5th. Jer, Falk and Matey. Well, the timing screens are going all funky right now. Let's just give them a second. Jer is in the lead. Manages to jump Geordie. But Geordie will keep the pursuit close. Finley just behind, followed by Geordie. Listen to them cars, ladies and gentlemen, as they come round turn 11 into the turn 11 top chicane down the straight. Falk losing 13 positions there on lap 1. Wonder what happened to him. Wicked retiring from P16. What a shame, we've already lost driver, and it's a virtual safety car. The drivers will have to slow down and keep to the delta. Probably won't see any pit stops as it's lap 1, but the stewards do need time to clear Wicked's McLaren out of the way. Geordie really not wanting to give us that TV camera. Not the end of the world. Let us know what you thought of that start down in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. I know my commentary, my coverage wasn't very good, but apart from Falk losing 12 positions and going in for damage, I'm assuming Dogobs also lost positions, which is disappointing. I'm sure that's a real shame, but hopefully we will see him come back. Under VSC, he should have some time to catch up though. Everyone obviously will be saving tyres and fuel. Thank you very much to the ones with us. Aiden then, see if we drive through penalty. See if we can get any of that as we resume green flag racing. Aiden going for a move on the Renault of Riker there, or Drew, sorry. Riker's the one next. What an overtake, managed to force him through. Managed to take that gap. Geordie still losing places. Finley dropping rather far back there, letting the front 2 build a gap, which is not something you want to do. Hopefully you'll have a bit of clean air. Aiden with a penalty and Jason with a penalty, however, so this could be interesting as we see Kyle go for a move on the racing points. Will he be able to hold it? Fastest lap's been set. Oh, Chase, which lap is it? Jason has left. Lots of fastest laps being set. Obviously it's lap 3, so there's no need. We've had a lap under virtual safety car. And Falk is still trundling along at the back. He's definitely gaining though. Dogobs and Falk are 2 very fast drivers, and they will be looking to make themselves push hard up to the top. Be able to, as Falk manages to slide round the last couple of corners there. Again, didn't quite catch what happened to Falk. I'm assuming the bodywork we saw flying off as they came up to turn 3 was his front wing, as he loses 12 positions. That's a hell of a drop, but that's racing unfortunately. As the gap between the top and 3rd place widens. Apologies. Yellow flag in sector 3. Shadow Realm has retired. He's dropping down the order. I wonder what that could be from. And there's another virtual safety car. Jer in the lead, followed by Geordie, Finley, Jurgen, Ryan. Oh, we just see Aiden pit. Tom Marsh receives a drive-through penalty for speeding under safety car. FI obviously getting very strict about that. Aiden coming in though. Not able to serve his drive-through penalty under safety car though. We're gonna have a look at the tyre choice. So we've got Finley starting on the mediums. That might be why he's so slow. Obviously he's not able to keep up with the front two who will be in tow of each other as the virtual safety car ends. No position changes at the restart, however there will be some close battles down at the rear. You can see the two Renaults of Riker and Drew travelling together. They'll be looking for a fight. Tom Marsh has to serve his thing as a penalty, as there's a yellow flag on sector 1. That would have been the racing point, I believe, of Jason D'Italia. Aiden's still got that drive-through penalty. He's gone onto the hards. Boxing lap 4, he's going to have to push them tyres. Falk receives the first penalty for track limits of the night, or day in Australia, the land down under. We will have a look through the field now, make sure everyone is doing okay, put it in a different angle. Jer still leading in the McLaren. Very, very, very impressive stuff from him, managing to jump Geordie at the start and keeping him behind. Very interesting as Geordie receives a 3-second time penalty. Finley now make about looking to... That's not Finley, apologies. Oh, and there's a yellow flag in sector 3. Who does that involve? No one at the moment. It just seemed to be a mishap or an off thing from what looks to be one of the... Apologies. One of the Williams. Foul goes for a drive-through penalty. Aiden taking his drive-through penalty. Unfortunately, the stewards will not be able to do that. We're able to get rid of that. Geordie managing to stay on Jer's gearbox the whole time though. This is some seriously impressive pace from the both of them. Look how much of a gap they are putting between themselves and Finley. Now Finley isn't a slow driver by any means, however I believe that medium tyres will be taking their toll. He's hoping to jump them on strategy, maybe looking for a safety car in a later stage. Geordie setting fastest lap of a 1:24.1, of course, got a tow. Yellow flag in sector 3. One of the Mercedes is going very slowly. I believe that will be Kyle. Wait, they have, whoever it was has recovered well. Geordie and Jer now battling for the lead. Geordie manages to take P1 off Jer, but Jer will come back down the run up to sector 2 now. Geordie managing to hold him off. Jer will be in that dirty air, so he will struggle, and it is just them two on track right now. Everyone else has a reasonably big gap to each other. We'll keep an eye on this though. Geordie is truly unleashing his pace here now that he's got rid of Jer, but Jer is not giving him an inch. Sat right on his rear wing, putting Geordie under tons of pressure for the lead. Let's see how they both perform. Sorry, Real TDM leaving the session, unfortunately. I wonder if that's due to taking damage. He will be hopefully joining us back, but his positions will suffer as the AI is not very good on this game. Drew and Riker still very much neck and neck. Same with Geordie and Jer. Spooky there, you can see receiving a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Let's have a look at Aiden's progress. Obviously he didn't manage to set a lap and he had a drive-through penalty, some seriously rotten luck for the Williams driver. He is currently 2 seconds back off the nearest car. We're going to keep this interval open. We're going to keep the tyre data open so you can monitor Aiden's progress. This is going to be an interesting fight for the lead if Jack can keep on top of Geordie. Obviously having to battle with the dirty air, but if he can manage to push, they are definitely pulling away from Finley. I say that, Finley starts making a push now. I believe this is where the tyres will be dropping off. Let's have a look down the field. Pack is still relatively close together, apart from obviously Jason D'Italia, who is boxed, will be 18 seconds back. Looking through here now. Got Dogarbs approaching the ghost of Matey, who disconnected. 3-second time penalty for Kyle. And Geordie managing to pull a gap, but Jer is still breathing down his neck in that McLaren. Really pushing the limits, these two. They've gained nearly a second on Finley, which is impressive stuff. Locking up there from the Alpha Tower roof. You can see Finley in the background there, running it a little bit wide. No need to worry. These two Renaults are really not giving each other space here. I wonder if Cyril Irritable has given them the orders, but Jer is retiring. The second place is retiring, as there's a virtual safety car. We just missed that. I wonder what happened there. I believe he would have came... Oh, he came off at turn 12. What a shocker for the McLaren driver, who was running in first and then second after getting a tremendous start. This is gonna shake the order up massively. That is gut-wrenching for Jer there. He was in for such a good finish, as both the McLarens are out. It's just 7 laps into the race. Oh, Zach Brown will not be happy with that result, as the third virtual safety car of the day comes out. Honestly, will be so disappointing for Jer. We were expecting to see such a close fight there. Obviously, different strategies will come into play now. Do you box lap 9 and take the hard tyres, try and push for 20, try and very much conserve your tyres? Finley doesn't believe so, clearly, as they get underway. Finley has stayed out, while Geordie has dropped back, hoping to make up some ground on them fresh hard tyres. Ryan now coming around the final corner. Drew obviously not boxing, which separates the Renaults. And there's a yellow flag in sector 2 from one of the Red Bulls there. I wonder if they've just had a clipping with the barrier. Most likely. Hopefully they'll be able to continue. Can we get a look at that front wing? Seems fine to me. And there's a yellow flag in sector 3. I believe we're looking at the wrong Red Bull. I wonder if these are just ghost things. And there's a yellow flag as well in sector 1. Aiden! What's happened to Aiden? Has he just stopped, or has he spun? Oh, this is so disappointing, and he's retired. Understandably so, as he didn't get the best start, didn't have the best luck, and it's so disappointing. We've just seen 2 fast drivers drop out from the race. This will really open the gap up for the midfield to be able to gain some vital points there. And the racing is underway. The stewards managing, the marshals managing to clear Aiden's car away relatively quickly. Honestly, so gut-wrenching for the lad. He's not had good seasons in SNRL or FRL. He's just been so unlucky, and it's very disappointing to see him go. Obviously, we still don't know if it was his own fault. Nobody has got a penalty regarding it, so I believe he must have just messed up. But that is a big shame, big shame. There's Geordie now putting 15 seconds on Drew. Finley, sorry, has free reign of the front. The only one yet to box, I believe. Apart from, actually no, as Drew overtakes Geordie there. Will this be a fight? Geordie obviously showing he has front-running pace. Sorry, I keep leaving the spectator menu open, guys. Yeah, Geordie just managing to gap himself there. Distance himself between the Renault and him. Got Ryan, Alex. Everyone's reasonably spread out at the moment. Obviously, we've got a pack of 3 here closing in, but Australia isn't a very good track to make moves on. So we'll have to wait to see what overtaking opportunities these drivers could pull out the back. We're going to keep an eye on these 3, as the top 3 seem to have a big gap between each other, which will be interesting. Geordie there, running a bit wide. Finley still on the medium tyres. Very risky strategy not to box, but even riskier per se would be this Renault, who is running 10 laps on the soft here. Will cross the line and be the only driver currently in the top 10, no, top 8 running the softs. So the ones that started on the current tyre that they are on now are Drew, Flavius, TDM, and that's it. Which, was it a good call to box under the virtual safety cars? Let us know, as Doug Arbs closes the gap to Jurgen in the Williams. Obviously his teammate retiring. Guys, sorry I am not getting your messages in the chat. I will have a look to reload it ASAP. See what you guys have to say about the race and if you are enjoying it. Gonna keep an eye on this gap here as well between Finley and Geordie. We're having issues with the chat, lol. Sorry, let's have a look what people are saying. Oh, Aidan has just informed us that he was brake checked. That is not good. As the race leader, Finley, comes in for his pit stop. Number 73. Nice and smooth, 2.6 seconds that would have been. But will Geordie be able to overtake him? There's going to be a battle at the pit lane. Yes, Geordie is through on that hard tyre. Obviously, Finley will have the much fresher hard tyre, but it will be interesting to see where he comes out. Back in third, Drew taking second. Very impressive stuff from the Renault driver. Finley having 3 seconds worth of penalties. Alex gaining 3 more seconds of penalties. See how he's doing. Oh, he's on his own. He's got 4 seconds back. Not too close to anyone else. He's just got some clean air. Hopefully he will be able to use them hard tyres and push hard all race. Doug Arbs up into 8th. Had a terrible start. Had to drop down, and I believe he had front wing damage. It was his front wing we saw flying off at the start, but he seems to be coping with it well. He's 13 laps in, he's already managed to put himself in 8th position, of course going 11 laps on the medium tyre. Do you think there will be another safety car? That will be an interesting prospect to see another VSC or safety car. Unlucky for Finley, who was clearly banking on one, but had to back out of it due to the chances being too low. He believed he had the gap to do it, and he's only lost 9 seconds to Geordie. Hopefully they'll have a fresher tyre or a safety car. He will be able to gain that back, and we will see a very, very interesting fight for the lead between two extremely fast-paced drivers. Ryan managing to close that gap, however. He's keeping with Finley, which will be very also interesting. Yeah, can't speak to it. Which will be also very interesting to watch. As Geordie comes down into sector 2, down through the speed trap. We'll turn 11 now. Manages to keep it off the grass, always interesting to see. We're going to take that tyre data off now, as we believe everyone has made a stop. Yes, they have. No one's trying to run long into the stint. We've seen various different strategies. This triple qualifying thing has really shaked up the order here. Triple qualifying, well, full qualifying, meaning that a lot of the drivers don't actually get a choice on what they start on. A lot of them set in very good strategies, particularly Finley, who we saw started on the mediums, which was a very nice thing to see, mixing it up as he closed the gap to, I believe that's Matey's Ghosted Red Bull. Yeah. Gonna have a look down the order now. As lap 15, we have Geordie in first, close followed by Finley in second, Ryan in third, Alex in fourth, Riker in fifth. Very strong, very strong performance from him, managing to fend his teammate off. Got Jurgen, who's closing in very quickly. Jurgen doing very well in qualifying. Dog Arbs, who we expect to see at the top, FRL Season 4 champion for Tier 3. Got Drew here, who obviously was trying to fight that position but managed to just get outclassed by strategy, which happens, but 8th is still a very strong position, still in the points. Falk here, on for a fight with the Mercedes of Kyle Scarrett. This will be an interesting one to watch. We will keep you updated in just a few seconds. Will he go for a move? No, he doesn't. He chooses to back out. But this will be an interesting run, obviously. He will have that toe. The Mercedes will, but I think Falk just gets a slightly better exit. Apologies as they come into this little complex here. We'll keep you updated. We have Mr. Tom Marsh, who will probably be getting qualifying due to the qualifying bans or penalty points, given the amount of people. We have Jason D'Italia disconnected during the race, so we're going to see if he can push up into the points. Flavius, who's just cruising by himself, 3 seconds back. Real TDM coming round the last little sector here. Got Matey, who's 26 seconds back, but then we've got Spooky, who's going to be closing in on him. We're going to jump back now to the Drew Kyle situation, but actually I've just seen here Dogobs has managed to get himself around that Ferrari. Oh no, he's just lapped the Ferrari, apologies. Kyle must have made a mistake because he's dropped back. Have a look. Finley managed to stay penalty clean penalty so far. Feeling good lord as he overtakes the 13th runner who was just boxed. Oh sorry, the 14th runner. This is looking to be a very interesting final 9 or so laps. I wonder if anyone will make a mistake, maybe bring out a VSC or a safety car. Jason picking up more penalties there. It's quite common, believe it or not, if this is your first time watching an F1 race. First of all, thank you for tuning. Please do get in contact about joining the server if you are not already. We do hope that a very close fight between the backmarkers as Kyle comes in for a pit stop there, going on to the mediums. The midfield is always very interesting to watch. We have a big pace difference here in SNRL. You can see we have the top maybe 6 or 7 always pushing, sorry. Other than that, there's a big gap, so we're just going to follow Jurgen's attempt to make a move on the Renault. Will he be able to defend? Renault keeping it very clean, very nice and tidy, coming down this, and he's made it through. Now will he be able to hold him off down the straight? Obviously they've already passed through the DRS detection zone, so we know the Red Bull's going to have DRS, but will that still manage to counteract the Renault has DRS. Will he be able to make a move coming into the finish again? No, he doesn't. He holds off. Coming round turn 2 to 3 now. It's on his gearbox. They're just managing to pull away though, as we're going to go for a look down the field dead quick. See if anyone else is closing in. No, they are not. Jurgen is managing to pull away, however. Will he be in pursuit of Alex? That will be an interesting one. Obviously 5 seconds back, but we've seen he has some great pace so far, so it's not entirely possible that in these last couple laps he will manage to find his pace. Let's have a quick look. There's the ghost of Matey. I wonder if he lagged out or what, but we see Tom Marsh making a mistake there round the first bend. Will that allow his teammate Flavius to get past? Yes it will, but they're going to go side by side into turn 3. Picking his line there. Finley setting a new fastest lap, a 1:23.8. Obviously managed to close that gap to 2 seconds. Them hard tyres really working his wonders. As Tom Marsh holding off his teammate there. As they fly past. They can reach speeds up to 200 miles an hour on this track, which very, very impressive stuff given that there are no real along straights here. The fast guys are always making it as Doug Obbs comes in for a pit stop. What tyre will he go on? Ryan Webb received a penalty. He changes to the softs for the last 10 laps of this event. We see Riker still closing in on Jurgen. Jurgen is managing to pull a big gap though. It's gone up to a second since we last tuned into him. Alex looking fairly far back from Ryan, who's got a 12-second gap. Kyle though responding to Finley's fastest lap with some pace of his own, setting a lap on the mediums. Obviously Finley and Geordie are both on the hards, as we see him lapping yet another car, making another mistake. I believe that was Flavius. Something's going on with Finley's engine there. Don't know what it is. Must be having issues in the Mercedes garage. Misfiring or something, it sounds like. Let's have a look at the rest of the gap, see what we can find. It's quite spread out. The closest gap as of now will be the gap between the Falk and Mr. Tom Marsh. Falk is less than a second off, which means he'll be in DRS, so we will watch this fight with close interest, obviously keeping an eye on the timing sheets. His teammate has dropped back. I believe Flavius did box for a new set of tyres. Spooky in the other Ferrari is very far back. I don't know if he was involved in a big crash or if he just made mistakes, but he has gained 3 places just through retirement, so I'm assuming he's just not got the pace to keep up, which is understandable. A lot of people do struggle on Australia. Going to jump on with the leaders now. Geordie again not wanting to give us a good TV cam. Coming round turn 1. Kicking up a bit of debris there. Must be from another car. But let's have a look at this gap here, because Finley has managed to close in by nearly 2 seconds. When he first came out the pits, he was 9 seconds back. Now he's 7 seconds back. All that Geordie has to do now is make a mistake or slip up one little bit, and Finley will be able to make a move, which will be interesting to see. Falk put in 2 seconds between him and Mr. Tom Marsh himself. Obviously, Flavius is 11 seconds back. Got the 2 racing points running in 13th and 14th, as we see another penalty for Falk. About 5 seconds separating them two. Finley did qualify P3, I believe, because of Jer's retirement. Obviously he came off right where Finley's just been. Oh, sorry, right where the racing point is now. And the racing point, speaking of, has just managed to cause a yellow flag. I wonder what that was for. Are we on with the right racing point? Both of them seem to be running, so I wonder why there's a yellow flag. Oh, it's green flag now, so don't know. I believe there must have been a mistake or something, as we see them 2 cars back there. Can't even find them now. Running side by side. Must have just been a lap car there. Everyone apart from Flavius, Real TDM, Dogarbs, and Riker and Finley picking up penalties of 3 seconds or more. Of course, this track, you've seen in qualifying how hard these guys are pushing the track limits, so making mistakes would not be uncommon here. Gonna have a look at the Renault here. See how he takes this corner here. Obviously quite a tricky section this. I always find it very difficult. Tom Marsh picking up a 3-second time penalty. Another one. Let's have a look at the gap here. Yellow flag in sector 3. That will be the Ferrari. I think he just managed to run wide or something there because we can't spot any damage. Obviously we'll have to look at the front of his car when it gives us the option. Yep, no damage. So it must have just been a quick mishap. A safety car at this point would be very, very interesting. We'd probably see a couple last lap shootouts, judging by the way the lap cars are stacked up. We will have a look down the field yet again. Finley managing to close the gap down to 6.5 seconds there. Obviously he's got some mad pace. Geordie has been on them tyres since, I'm telling you now. Geordie has been on them tyres since lap, where is it? Fastest laps there. That should be enabled, shouldn't it? Yeah. Passing the ghosted car of Spooky. Obviously he's been lapped. He's done a tremendous job, Geordie, on his official AlphaTauri racer debut. Finley making sure that he's kept in check though and isn't just running away. He's obviously closing the gap quite a bit. Here we are. Tyres. He's done 15 laps on them tyres compared to Finley, who has 4 laps, who will obviously have fresher tyres than him. Does that equate to pace though? That's a question you guys could tell me down in the chat. Do you think having maybe 3-4 laps difference on your tyres, as we can see from Geordie and Finley, do you reckon that will make a massive difference in pace? Obviously if you have, you know, a difference between like 6 or 7 laps, that's when they start to wear off, so it would make a huge difference. But does 3-4 more laps, will that make sure that Finley has to stay back, conserve tyres, or will that mean he can push hard and close the gap? Obviously I don't think anyone on the grid will be hoping for a safety car right now. We certainly are. We were very much looking forward to seeing if a safety car does come out. So make sure you stay tuned in and keep your eyes peeled for that. I wonder what is going on with the Mercedes engines here. They seem to like scream every time. Here we are, penalties. So Jason, with 11 seconds, he has the most penalties. Only 3 seconds for Geordie, so I believe Finley will be pushing hard to get inside that range. Spooky with 6 seconds, obviously running in last. Let's pay some homage to the retired. We've got Aiden, who was apparently brake checked. Stewards will be interested to see what happened there. We've got Jet, who binned it at turn 12. Obviously, we spoke about how dangerous that corner is if you really want to push the limits. We've got Rado, Shelm and Wicked, who retired close to the start. There's Valk picking up another 3-second time penalty. I'm gonna turn that off now so you guys can see the better picture. However, we'll keep the telemetry on for just a second. You really do feel for these guys though. You feel when you put so much time and effort into 6 seconds, that will make something very interesting. Will Finley be able to close that 0.5 second back? Will Finley be able to close that 0.2 gap to Geordie? My mouth is getting very dry. I only brought one water bottle, evidently not enough. Finley having to deal with back markers, using them probably for tow and DRS down the straight. But yeah, we just saw then Geordie picked up another 3-second penalty, meaning he has 6 seconds worth of track limits penalties. Now, Finley is only 6.5 seconds back. Oh, virtual safety car right there. I wonder what has happened. We'll have a look, see if anyone's crashed. Jason has DNF'd. I wonder if that looks to be like he DNF'd unintentionally. Same place that Jer went down. That is a horrible sound. Looks to be the same place that Jer DNF'd. Cost him second or first place, depending on who you support. Yeah, it's a shame it's not a full safety car though. That would have been very interesting last lap if it was. But anyway, Geordie out in front. The gap will be kept the same. Kyle is nearly a minute back from the leader. We will quickly change over so you can see the intervals between the drivers. Now he's dropped back to 7 seconds, so he's actually being rather safe with this VSC. Obviously not wanting to pick up a drive-through penalty that will allow Ryan to get past. We are still under yellow flag conditions though, so obviously no one's taking it, and we are green again. Real TDM receiving a drive-through penalty in the last couple laps. TDM is down in... Oh, hang on. We just saw then Spooky retiring from the session. I don't know if he managed to crash out, but it doesn't look like he did, given the fact that... hang on, let's just find a driver that's going through there now. Yep, doesn't look like manages to crash at the same place that Jason and Jer have been taken out. What a corner that has been. That has been the death of so many. We need to watch more as we go through there, because that seems to be that's catching all the drivers out. Obviously no VSC this time. Stewards have deemed that they can race on, and race officials. Obviously he must have been out of the way then. Finley now 5 seconds back, which will put him in the lead. I wonder if he knows how much penalties Geordie has. I wonder if he's going to push to keep within penalty range. Obviously he stayed track limit violation free himself, which is a very impressive thing to do when strict track limits are applied. We'll show you the penalty situation here now. As you can see, 6 seconds back. He's just about in range. He will be in scenario 7, giving it the full send as he tries to push on. He seems to be fluctuating between 5 and 6. We'll have to keep an eye on that as they approach the final few laps. Now, the gap between all the drivers is pretty spread out. So this will be an interesting gap, the off-track battle. Flavius picking himself up another penalty. TDM, though, not to worry, has a drive-through penalty. He will have to serve that before the end of the race. Will that allow Matey, who is in the Red Bull, to pass him, however? I don't think it will, given that pit stops are more than a minute. But it will still make things very much interesting at the back. We have 16 seconds back at P10, so the points that separate, the places that separate top points from lowest points is 16 seconds. Which just goes to show all these drivers in the top 10 and top 20 have a good fast pace around here. It just goes to show how extraordinarily consistent and quick the top 3 have been, or mainly the top 2, given that AlphaTauri and the Mercedes are pulling away from the rest of them. Gonna have a look, make sure no one comes around here. Ryan is now coming down the back corner, very long corner, in the Ferrari. Will he manage to keep it clean? He touches the grass. That could have ended very badly for Ryan. That corner is always going to be an interesting one to watch because obviously so many people have ended their race here. Everyone seems to be cutting it close though. Yellow flag in sector 1 and 2 though, as the Racing Point retires of Real TDM. Will this bring out a safety car on the final lap? Obviously no overtaking through the flags. Finley sets to be ready to take the checkered flag though. Maybe not on track, but definitely in the stewards. Oh, it appears the Racing Point did crash out. I wonder how he done that. Looks to be intentional given the position he crashed out. He crashed on a bit of a straight there. Not usually somewhere you see them crash. Finley very much set into that 5 seconds. Let's hope he doesn't make a mistake. If he does, that would be catastrophic and he will lose first place. So as it stands on the final lap, we've got Jordi, Finley, Ryan, Jurgen, Alex, Riker, Drew, Dogarbs, Kyle, Falk, Tom and Flavius, the 2 Alfa Romeos, running 11th and 12th. Obviously the Renaults are going to be picking up some very good points here, both 6th and 7th. Riker coming across as Jordi, I believe, takes the checkered flag. Well done to him. Obviously he will not have track position, but it's an on-track win nonetheless, as Finley has just taken P1 off him. See Ryan now at 22 seconds back. Going to be taking 3rd, so that completes your SNRL podium for Australia. We have Finley in 1st, who was on track in 2nd. Tried a different strategy, didn't work, but it doesn't matter because Jordi, with just 6 seconds worth of penalties from track limits, has dropped himself down into 2nd. Still a very impressive result from the Scotsman though. Ryan completing the top 3 in the other Ferrari. Ah, you're unlucky, Jason. That just on the final lap as well, not being able to take that checkered is very difficult. Obviously people with unserved penalties then. Jurgen finishing in style by putting himself in the barrier. Red Bull won't be happy with that repair cost, but I don't think they'll care because a 4th place will do them. Obviously, well done to everyone who competed. Dogarbs takes driver of the day yet again. And what a race that was. As you see, getting a little podium pass dance there from our Victor Finley. Well done everyone for competing. We really do appreciate your consistency in showing up to the race. We appreciate all the time you put into practicing, and we appreciate the time you spend racing, the frustration, the happiness you go through. All of that is massively appreciated by both me, Aidan, and your fellow comrades and drivers. So Finley takes a win with a time of 41 minutes 45, closely followed by Jordi, Ryan, Jurgen, Alex, Riker, Dogarbs, Drew, Kyle and Falk complete your point finishes. Tom Marsh finishing outside the points, Flavius finishing P12 and I believe last of the actual running cars, Matey finishing nearly 2 minutes behind, 2 laps behind, Then the retired Real TDM, who crashed right at the very end, unfortunately for him. Spooky, Jason and Jer all claimed by that same infamous turn 12. Aiden DNFing because apparently he got brake checked. I'm sure the stewards will investigate that. 19th and 20th, Rado and Wicked, who both retired very close to the start. Thanks for watching, guys. We do appreciate you guys tuning in, seeing the race. We do hope you enjoyed this. We admit it wasn't the best one, but what can you do, eh? Hopefully there'll be more interesting ones in the future. But other than that, I have been the commentator for today's race. Zach Woodhead, Tenured Frog, add me if you need to on PlayStation. Get in touch. There's a couple F1 leagues we can let you in. If you want to be invited to SNRL, we can always sort you out with your Discord. But anyways, I'm going to end it here. Cheers for watching, guys, and I'll catch you on the official SNRL channel next week.